Hello, welcome back to the Claiming Your Magic online retreat. Here we are at day 3, and the prompt word for today is trust. The journal prompt is I trust. So as you move through this day, think about trust and what trust means to you, how it shapes your life, how it guides your way, how it relates to faith, how it relates to purpose, how it relates to your spirituality. Some people have a complicated relationship with trust and with self-trust, and if that is your experience, I honor that in you. I do have some supplemental resources for you today that will help build self-trust. So trust, it can be multi-layered, it can be complex, it can be sweet, it can be simple, it can be powerful, it can be profound. So the journal prompt is I trust. What do you trust? Be alert in the day for what you trust. For me, I come back to trusting my feet on this earth to hold me, the sky to enfold me, the pulse, the sacred beneath my skin to guide my way. So prompt word trust, journal prompt I trust. The theme for today is the magic of daily practice and how to sustain our daily practices. I create a huge number of resources about supporting and sustaining daily practice. The homepage for that is 30daysofgoddess.com, and it's updated twice a month with tons of resources for daily practice with a specific area of encouragement on building and sustaining daily practices that fit our lives, that actually fit our lives as they are right now, not any different than they already are. And that in many ways, that is where the 365 Days of Goddess book came from the desire to help create, support, and sustain daily practices that fit your life, and to offer inspiration and encouragement as you fold those into the rhythm of your days, as you create a devotional rhythm that fits you. And so one of the things that I wanted to remind you about today is that I really encourage you to remember, this is the practice section of today's retreat workshop, is that let us remember that we need only to lay a hand against our own hearts to reconnect. I think sometimes we make practices bigger and more elaborate than they have to be, and it can be wonderful to have big and elaborate magic and powerful rituals, but we need to remember that that we are our own sacred spaces and that we have a doorway to the sacred within us at all times. I think something that really holds people back often is feeling like they need to be more special or more magical than they already are, that they need to make something really fancy in order to have it count. And so the thing to remember is that we have this doorway to the sacred with us at all times. We need only to lay a hand against our own hearts to reconnect. The doorway to the sacred is within us. Our lives are living prayers. Our bodies are dwelling places for the holy. And we make magic with what we have, our very own selves. And so the practice I wanted to share with you is a self-blessing mini ritual that you can do in the morning or in the evening, or really at any time that you feel like you need to connect. I feel like practices that involve our bodies are really, really powerful ways and powerful methods and practices that we can carry with us wherever we go. And I feel like the combination of physical movement with words helps it soak in. It helps us, if we're speaking about living our magic and claiming our magic, then actually experiencing our bodies as this sacred space that's with us wherever we go. Involving physical movement in that can really anchor it in, can really bring our spirits home, can really help us to embody that truth and that experience, and can embody the living of our magic. So for the morning it can be a blessing at any time, but for this self-blessing, you can follow along with me. I encourage you to repeat what I say. So I'm going to pause after each section to allow you space to repeat that for yourself wherever you are right now. So I lay a hand against my forehead. I am open to possibility. I am open to peace. Folding both hands across your heart. I am nourished by love. Laying your hands against your belly. I am my own sacred space. I am centered in my wholeness. cupping your face between your hands gently. I know what I need, and I can trust myself. Opening your arms to the sky. I am free to choose. I belong here. And returning your hands to your heart. I am here. I am whole. I live my magic. So may you sink deeply into that affirmation. Let it find a home in your body. Let yourself trust these things to be true for you right here, right now. In this section, in the bonus section for this day of the retreat, you will also find a series of videos about the power of prayer and about creating and using prayers in your life. I recognize that depending on our background, our religious background or lack thereof, we may have a complex relationship with prayer as well. I find that framing prayer as a blessing, as an affirmation, as an offering, as an expression of gratitude really helps expand your concept of what prayer needs to be or what prayer looks like. So there's our supplemental series of resources about prayer for you. But I wanted to share some thoughts with you today from the 365 Days of Goddess book about daily practice, the power of daily practice. And so that's what I'd like to share with you today. In that way, there are invitations each day to step into the sacred. There are breaths of presence. There are heartbeats of the holy when we pause to settle into center and attend to what is. And I really find that a huge part of claiming your own magic is making a promise to yourself and keeping it. And when we show up for ourselves and when we show up in daily practice each day, the sacred shows up too. And that is how trust is born, develops, deepens, and grows. And so a big part of claiming our own magic is showing up for it, showing up for our own lives in full, seeing what they hold, noticing what we can notice, bearing witness to the world around us, and starting to recognize, trust, appreciate, savor, and celebrate the patterns that we see unfolding in our own lives. And the more we practice, the more we engage in daily practices and the more space we make for the sacred and ourselves in our own lives, the more we come to trust that it will be there when we need it and to be there to be there for us, to support and sustain us. So there's this trust, precious and powerful, that grows with daily practice. And I speak and write often of this union between sacred sameness and infinite possibility. So as we claim our magic and as we step into the power of daily practice, the doorway cracks open, the doorway to the sacred in our own hearts, in our own lives, in our own backyards. It cracks open, and there's this union between the sacred sameness, the doing the same thing every day, and then the infinite possibility, what it unfolds in that sameness. So stepping out onto the same rock, sitting under the same tree, visiting the same park, walking on the same sidewalk, sitting on the same porch swing, rolling out the same yoga mat, sitting on the same meditation cushion, kneeling at the same altar. In that space, that conscious space to engage, infinite possibility unfolds. It's so amazing. I never tire of that amazement of what am I going to see today? What am I going to learn today? And sometimes, and I'm going to acknowledge this right now, sometimes what you see or experience is that you feel kind of stale and crumbled or bored or tired or low energy or disappointed or whatever. Sometimes it's not that you're going to always feel super sparkly and empowered, but that you make space for all of it, that you make space to notice too. Today's one of those days that I feel stale and crumbled. Today's one of those days that I feel in sync with the sacred. There's space for it. There's space for it. And all of that is part of building trust and in claiming our magic as well. And so anyway, so these are invitations into connection. Daily practice creates a reliable doorway through which the goddess can enter your life. It makes a space for extending your hand and feeling her reaching back. So I believe with all my heart that we are our own sacred spaces. And I believe that she, or the sacred divinity, the holy, spirit. I believe that this force is everywhere at all times, as close as heartbeat, as close as breath. But to know that there is a space held for her and for you in each day, a space to soften into presence, into trust, and into magic, and into this space of sacred sameness where senses sharpen and trust grows strong. This becomes a reserve that fuels the whole of you, that fuels your whole life, that infuses your whole life with sacredness, meaning, and magic. And so so one of the things I wrote in the book is that there's few things I will promise because I do not dabble in absolutes or guarantees. The world is too much a mystery and our lives are woven from a million invisible things. But I will promise that if you show up each day in devotion, if you keep your promise to make a space for the sacred and for yourself in your own life, if you make a promise to claim your magic, to live your magic, to inhabit your wholeness, something will happen. You will come to trust and to know that the sacred will show up too, that she is present everywhere. And when you are present too, you will find her there. And so that is what I wanted to emphasize. And I also wanted to emphasize that this concept that are like, as well as sacred sameness, there's the concept of like small sacredness. I speak about creating a blessing basket, and I will, that will be one of the supplemental resources for you as well, is the blessing basket concept of daily practice, which is that we have the opportunity, just like with the self-blessing that I offered at the beginning, we have this opportunity to collect practices that nourish, support, and sustain us and put them, so to speak, in a metaphorical blessing basket that we can draw from at will. So whether it's music that we like, or songs that we sing, or prayers that we offer, or physical movements that we go through, or a place that we visit, we can choose from that metaphorical blessing basket every day and form our own rewarding and nurturing daily practices from there. And so one of the things that I like to emphasize is there's always things that are already part of our own lives that can be infused with more small sacredness and drops of magic, because our lives are made up of small decisions, small actions, and small choices in each and every day. And so there are big moments and there are deep experiences in each life as well, but living itself is made step by step, day by day. Walking a goddess-centered path, walking a devotional path, steeping in magic, it's something that happens choice by choice, breath by breath, step by step, prayer by prayer, movement by movement. And so each day is filled with these countless small moments of pause, these small moments that can be infused with sacredness, that can be a reminder to you that this is your magic and you're living it right now. And so let me see what else I wanted to share here. There's some more things that I'll get to in our live celebration retreat, which is taking place, if you're still watching this as the retreat is unfolding, the live circle is taking place tomorrow. And if you are watching this as a replay later after the retreat has already concluded, you will be able to access a replay of the live as well. So you won't miss it. It'll be there for you as to support and encourage you, I hope. And so let me see. Prayers. I have some resources to offer as well about devotional rhythm and creating a devotional rhythm that fits your life. And so that will be available to you as well. But right now, I'd like to offer another practice. This one we're revisiting. I'm a big fan of continuing to live our magic and embody our magic by coming back again and again and again to the practices that support and sustain us, to offering the same prayers, to offering the same practices so that they sink into us, they become part of our heart and soul and bones, so that when we feel discombobulated, when we feel thrown off center, when we feel scattered or lost or fragmented or afraid, we have a robust fuel tank of nourishment from which to draw. And so this is from the card for these come as a bonus with the book. This is from the May card about trust. And so here we go. Because I trust myself, I lay a hand against my heart and listen before I decide. Because I know what I need, I intentionally replenish my spirit each day. Because I love myself, I honor my own holy no and sacred yes. Because I carry my center of power within me, I am my own sacred space wherever I go. So when you create a space for yourself, when you create a power spot, so to speak, that is part of how you build this trust as well, a power spot that you can come back to again and again. And so I'd like to read June's prayer as well, or June's practice as well from the companion cards. And it is this: find a power spot, a space where you feel safe and strong, nourished and held. Gather together your magic and your power. Surround yourself with courage and with trust. Allow yourself to soak in this energy and be replenished and restored. Find a prayer or make a promise, a spell of trust and truth to your very own life. Repeat your vow. Hold it sacred. Keep your word. So part of sustaining ourselves with daily practice and part of sustaining a daily practice is that it's small enough to fit into our lives, that it folds into the rhythm of what we already have. It infuses the moments of our days with small sacredness and everyday magic. And also that it's accessible, that your spot, your power spot, is not something that requires you to drive an hour for. I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love Dauphin Island in Alabama, where we spend the winter. And it takes me 12 hours to get there, and that's if I never stop driving. That can't be my power spot. It can be one of the sources of nourishment for me, but it cannot be my power spot because it's too far away. The power spot, your sources of replenishment need to be close enough at hand that they're not complicated or complex to get to. They have to be accessible to you. So maybe that can be a window, maybe that can be an altar space, maybe that can be a portable wooden grid. We sell goddess grids in the shop. They can be a portable altar space that can travel with you. I really feel like our 30 Days of Goddess prayer books form I'm knocking stuff down. Their 30 Days of Goddess prayer books form this portable sacred space that can go with you wherever you go. So you have your sacred space at your fingertips. But wherever your power spot is, it needs to be something that's accessible to you. And then you build your practices from there. So I have many, many other resources to offer, and you're going to find lots of links and handouts and audios and additional videos. This one I just wanted to touch base with you about that sustaining of daily practice and that the magic in that will continue to fuel you. As I shared before, I feel like our magic is this current of the sacred that runs beneath the surface of every life. It is there at all times. Daily practice just helps remind us to dip our toe into the current, to refill our souls from what is already there running beneath the surface of our life. It helps us to tap in, to tune in, to touch down into that current of the sacred that is already there within us and around us and beneath us and accessible to us. That's your magic right here, right now, right there, available to you whenever you need it. So remember, you can lay your hands against your heart. You have a doorway to the sacred with you right here, right now. And I hope as you proceed with daily practice, you will come to really trust that deeply, richly, and true. And so I'm going to go ahead and close right now with a poem that I wrote a little while ago. And it's kind of a combination poem / embodied ritual in one. So, hey there, sweet one, feeling ragged and forlorn. I know a secret. No one else has it all figured out. Everyone longs for something, and everyone hears a call for change that they may or may not be able to answer. Everyone struggles to be seen sometimes, feels trapped sometimes, and sometimes wonders what is wrong with them. Everyone staggers sometimes under the weight of their own expectations. And everyone dreams of daring and feels the sweet promise of freedom kiss their tired foreheads as they wonder if this is all there is and all they are allowed. For today, instead of trying to fix it, instead of trying to force yourself into being different, sink into the sweet and scary power of feeling it all. Let it all sweep through you while you are curled and small and trying to be better. then lift your head and look for the sky. Whether it be sunny or gray, it is still here. Stretch your arms open and then bring them back down around yourself. Fold your warm hands against your heart, and then lay one hand on top of your head and another across your forehead, so full of wanting. Say it's okay and believe it. Lift your hands to your face and cradle it with tenderness. Tell yourself something you need to hear, even if you struggle to believe it. Watch for the smallest scrap of magic you can find. Another secret, even your own pulse in your wrist counts, or your heart beneath your hand. Trust that there is so much more and that you belong to it, even if you don't yet know how. Thank you so much for being here. Remember that our live celebration event, call, retreat, ritual online is tomorrow, and you will receive a link in your email to that. Or if you're watching this later, you will find a replay link included. And also a reminder that Living Our Magic is the theme of next year's content in our Goddess Magic community on Patreon. That is patreon.com/goddessmagic. And the Goddess Magic community on Patreon really is a devotional community and a crucible of creation where we explore practicing the presence of the goddess and living our magic and sacred experiencing in each and every day. So I do invite you to continue with me in the Goddess Magic community and or in daily practice with 30 Days of Goddess via 30daysofgoddess.com. Thank you so much for being here, for taking part in this event, and may you continue to sink deeply into that current of magic that runs beneath your life. May you continue to step through that doorway to the sacred. May you continue to build trust in yourself and in the rhythms of enchantment that shape this world and guide your way. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.